Islamic marriage, known as Nikah, is a solemn and sacred social contract between a man and a woman. Rooted deeply in the principles of Islamic jurisprudence and tradition, marriage in Islam is not just a union of two individuals but a binding commitment to support each other in a faithful and moral life. However, like any legal and religious framework, Islamic marriage comes with specific prohibitions aimed at maintaining the sanctity and purity of the union. Understanding these forbidden aspects is crucial for anyone interested in Muslim culture and the principles governing Islamic marital laws. One of the most fundamental prohibitions in Islamic marriage is the prohibition against marrying close blood relatives. According to Islamic law, marrying a direct descendant, an ascendant, a sibling, or a sibling's child is strictly forbidden. This prohibition is derived from the Quranic verses and the Hadiths, which aim to prevent genetic disorders and maintain family structure. For instance, the Quran states, "Prohibited to you, for marriage, are, your mothers, your daughters, your sisters, your father's sisters, your mother's sisters, your brother's daughters, your sister's daughters." Quran 4:23. Another critical aspect of forbidden marriage in Islam is the prohibition against marrying non-Muslims. While a Muslim man is allowed to marry a Christian or Jewish woman, a Muslim woman is strictly forbidden from marrying a non-Muslim man. This rule is intended to preserve the religious identity and ensure that children born from the union are raised in the Islamic faith. The rationale behind this prohibition is rooted in the patriarchal nature of Islamic society, where the religion of the husband typically influences the family's faith. Temporary marriages, known as mutah, are also prohibited in Sunni Islam. This type of marriage, which allows a couple to marry for a predetermined period, is considered invalid by Sunni scholars and is seen as a form of legalized prostitution. However, it is essential to note that mutah marriages are permitted in Shia Islam, which reflects the diversity within the Muslim community regarding certain practices and interpretations of Islamic law. Polygamy, although permitted in Islam, comes with strict regulations and conditions. A man is allowed to have up to 4 wives, but he must treat them with equal justice and fairness. The Quran states, "Then marry those that please you of other women, 2 or 3 or 4. But if you fear that you will not be just, then marry only 1. Quran 4:3. Failure to treat all wives equally is considered a serious violation, making unjust treatment a forbidden aspect within a polygamous marriage. Divorce in Islam, while permitted, is highly discouraged and should be the last resort after all reconciliation efforts have failed. The process of divorce, known as talaq, has its own set of rules and regulations. For instance, a husband must pronounce talaq 3 times, with waiting periods in between, to give both parties time to reconcile. Impulsive or angry declarations of divorce are considered invalid, and the divorce must be carried out with due process and mutual respect. Another forbidden practice in Islamic marriage is the concept of nikah halala. This practice involves a divorced woman marrying another man, consummating the marriage, and then getting divorced again to be able to remarry her first husband. While some sects within Islam may practice it, the majority of Islamic scholars condemn it as exploitative and contrary to the spirit of Islamic law. Forced marriages are unequivocally forbidden in Islam. The consent of both parties is a prerequisite for a valid Islamic marriage. The Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, emphasized the importance of mutual consent and discouraged any form of coercion. He stated, "A previously married woman should not be married until her consent has been asked, and a virgin should not be married until her consent has been sought." Sahih Bukhari. This highlights the importance of personal choice and willingness in entering the marital contract. In conclusion, the forbidden aspects of Islamic marriage laws and traditions reflect the importance of protecting family integrity, individual rights, and religious values. These prohibitions are designed to ensure that marriage, as an institution, remains sacred and that the rights of all individuals involved are respected. For those interested in exploring more about Islamic marriage and its rich cultural context, watching related videos can provide further insights and understanding.